Hello, my name is Selim. In 2016, I was 13 years old, just a boy playing and laughing in the streets of Istanbul. I had no idea that year would bring days of heroism, sacrifice, and lessons that would be carved into my memory forever. You've all seen it on television. The world watched with shock. Yes, I'm talking about the treacherous coup attempt of that time. But why don't I tell you what happened? From someone who saw it with his own eyes. And why don't I tell you about a hero who gave his life that night so the nation could live? Let me share with you the story of Ömer Halisdemir. I've always loved reading. I read many stories about courage in battle, about those who gave everything when their country needed them most. But I had never seen it with my own eyes, until then. I once read a Japanese proverb, "Duty is as heavy as a mountain. A soldier's death is as light as a feather." Our nation is brave. Our history is full of battles. But there is a dark chapter in that history, the military coups. Time and again, some corrupt general thought he had more right to power than an elected government. They would roll in tanks, seize control, and plunge the country into cycles of oppression, corruption, and mass executions of the innocent. In 1960, Prime Minister Adnan Menderes and his ministers were executed. In 1980, hundreds of citizens were killed after another coup. In total, there were 5 coups, not counting other military interventions, each one leaving the nation weaker. Until the attempt in 2016, when many brave souls gave their lives to stop the criminals. Coups never brought progress, only fear, poverty, and destruction. It was as if the coup plotters were hired traitors, working to destroy Turkey's rise. And so, this is why Ömer Halisdemir made his choice that night. Born in 1974, in the Anatolian heartland beneath open skies, Ömer was the son of a humble family. His parents taught him that honor is worth more than gold, and dignity is never for sale. He grew up in the fields, breathing the pure air of his village, holding one dream in his heart, to be a soldier who protects his homeland. Years of training and dangerous missions, both in Turkey and abroad, made his heart strong as steel, but it still carried mercy and compassion. Then came a dark dawn. The night of July 15th, 2016. Tanks in the streets, bullets in the sky. The boots of traitorous soldiers trampling the heart of the Republic. But the people rose. Men and women, young and old, filled the streets and bridges, shouting with one voice, "You shall not pass." I was there too. My father rushed home, speaking quickly to my mother. I could hear her crying and pleading. Finally, she agreed to something, still in tears. My father turned to me and said, "Selim, my son, the moment has come for all of us to stand for our nation. Are you ready to do your duty, just as you learned in school? There is a coup happening. You're coming with me to stop it." I felt a strange mix of fear and excitement. But with my father beside me and the sight of so many people in the streets, my heart rose with courage. We marched with flags in our hands, chanting. Then the traitors opened fire. Many fell. The night sky turned black. Key buildings were seized, and the coup leaders announced themselves on state TV. But heroes emerged everywhere. Sergeant Bülent Aydın, who opened fire on the coup soldiers trying to storm military headquarters. Colonel Seyit Ertürk, who died fighting to stop tanks from being stolen. Private Emre Ayve, who hid the keys to the armory in Izmir so they couldn't be taken. Erol Olchok and his son Abdullah Tayyip, who died on the Bosphorus Bridge alongside the people. 16-year-old Halil Ibrahim Yildirim, the youngest martyr that night, and many, many more. In the heart of Ankara, the decisive moment came for Ömer Halisdemir. The coup general, Semih Terzi, arrived at Special Forces headquarters with soldiers demanding control. Ömer called his commander. The order came back: do not surrender the headquarters at any cost. He raised his weapon. One shot, like lightning. It struck the traitor in the head, ending the coup's key plan. The enemy opened fire, killing Ömer. But he did not fall alone. He fell with the coup's dark scheme collapsing beside him. The Special Forces fought back, forcing the traitors to retreat. News spread. The people united with loyal soldiers, police, journalists, surrounding the coup forces until they surrendered. By morning, the scale of sacrifice was clear. Funerals filled the streets, flags waved. Schools, streets, and squares were named after the heroes, so their names would live forever. Ömer was no longer just a soldier. He was a symbol. His voice, though his body lay still, echoed across Turkey. Some think a soldier is only a weapon, but a true soldier is a principle, a promise, a heart that knows life means nothing if the nation is betrayed. Sacrifice is not simply dying. It is choosing to give your life at the moment you know it will mean the most. I learned that lesson that night. Now, 9 years later, I stand as a young military graduate in the same place, Special Forces Command, saluting at the memorial built for the hero. I continue the journey with honor. Peace to Ömer. Peace to every hand that took up a weapon, not to kill, but to protect. Peace to every heart that knew honor is worth more than life itself. And peace to the entire Turkish nation.